Well, hello there.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
I'm here before Venalis, and that's all that matters.
Fuck up.
I saw the clock turn to. You're not technically late. You're on time. It's 10 o'clock. You're exactly on time. But I saw it be 10, and I wasn't unmuted yet, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta unmute before Ven gets here. And I probably beat you by about 3 seconds.
I'm upset.
Oh yeah, why is that?
I want you to know how much I love you.
Oh, that's
Okay.
that's what's making you upset.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, now I'm upset.
Here, let me tell you why I'm upset. Okay.
Okay.
I was in the front room.
Yeah.
And I've been watching through the new season of Lucifer.
Okay.
It's a great show, right? Anyways, I'm watching through it, and I'm like, man, they're usually like 40-minute episodes, 45-minute, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, this feels like it's getting kind of late. I need to check my phone. I was like, oh fuck. I was like, I gotta go because I started watching it, about an hour ago.
Yeah.
I'm watching the really long finale.
Oh
and I
my
had to
God.
pause it to come over here.
Oh my god.
But the shenanigans that they're getting up to on Lucifer, though, they're unresolved.
I know. Yeah, I've seen the show. I've seen the cover of the show, and I know Travis McElroy from McElroy's is a huge fan of it, but I've never given it a shot. Would you recommend?
Depends on what you like. To be fair, I would definitely probably put it in the guilty category sort of thing. So
Okay.
I kind of love heaven and hell, demons, Lucifer. Like I love the whole like lore behind it. Like,
Yeah.
I love all of that stuff. So that anything like that, like really like it speaks to me. I just I'll be like, yeah, I'll watch the shit out of it. Which is weird because I'm not religious at all. But no, it's an interesting show, essentially showing the human side of Lucifer and Lucifer trying to like get to know what his flaws are and overcome them, and it's very interesting. It's essentially Lucifer becomes a what's the word I'm looking for? A police consultant.
Okay. Yeah.
And the police consultant part, like the actual crimes and stuff like that happen, are by far the weakest part of the fucking show. And it's annoying how much they keep that stuff in. But
Gotcha.
overall, the show, it was so good that I binged every episode that was available in about 10 days.
Wow. Okay, that's impressive.
So I was like, yeah, I went through 6 seasons. I was just like, yeah, we're going to do this.
I kind of get that. Like, Kaylee and I watch a lot of the iterations of all the different versions of the Sherlock thing,
okay.
right? Consulting detective.
Mm-hmm.
And, they have like the crimes that he helps solve and all that stuff. And it's interesting because in that case with Sherlock, the crimes really do have to be pretty insane because it's basically an unsolvable crime that Sherlock is able to mastermind kind of thing.
Right.
And, which one was it? The BBC's Sherlock? I think that's the one where, like, it's kind of not really about the crimes. It's not really about the case solving. It's more about like Sherlock and his discovery of how to be a human and stuff like that. So it sounds like it's probably more that route, right? Where it's more about the person and less about the crimes.
It's more about the person, and it's definitely about the hilarity. Like,
Okay.
Oh, it's a funny show.
It's absolutely hysterical because he's not like a serious Lucifer. He's like, why the fuck does everyone keep blaming me? I'm so sick of humanity. I will make you do it. He's like, I didn't make you do shit.
You're just a bad person.
Okay, all right. Maybe I should give it a shot. Maybe it's not for me, but maybe it is. Maybe I'll give it a shot.
It
Let's
does
just
sound
see.
fun.
Yeah, right.
I would recommend watching it. Give it an episode or two. If it's not your stick, I ain't gonna hold it over you.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We've been watching. We just finished watching Demon Slayer, the anime, which was quite good. I like that quite a bit.
Yeah. We can't find the movie though. I want to find the movie.
I actually have news on that front,
What?
but it's news that I can't talk about on stream.
Got it.
What's news that you can't talk about on stream? I beg your pardon.
Nothing, absolutely nothing. Yeah, we can't find the Doomslayer movie. Isn't that crazy? It's just nowhere, man. Just can't get a hand on it. That's we'll just give it up and never talk about it again.
You think in this day and age, especially like the internet, you could find it somewhere, but
you'd think so.
No.
But you'd probably have to be breaking like piracy laws or something at that point.
International copyright. It just gets messy. I mean, no one would do that. It's not worth the trouble.
No one would do that.
Would
you
ever
wouldn't steal
do that.
a car.
Exactly.
I mean, you wouldn't steal a baby, right?
You wouldn't steal a baby. Exactly.
You wouldn't steal a baby, so don't steal a movie. It's the same thing.
I mean, I wouldn't steal an ugly baby.
Okay.
If the baby's pretty enough, maybe I'd steal it. I'd love to have a pretty
check the
child.
baby's ratings on Rotten Tomatoes before we steal.
Yeah, exactly.
Side note, I'm currently experiencing the equivalent of laundry day for my kitchen. I'm currently eating cereal out of a mixing bowl with a ramen spoon.
That's very good.
Okay, wait. You have a ramen spoon?
Yeah. Like those big old spoons for like ramen and stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna need somebody to describe to me what the hell's the difference between a ramen spoon and a normal spoon.
Is it a spoon with a flat bottom? Yeah.
Interesting. Can I just throw something out here? One of the grossest things I ever saw on Reddit. It's not that gross. It's not super gross. That's going to really disgust everyone, but gross enough that you're going to go, yeah, that's gross. And the grossness is a person on Reddit who said something like, who else? I'm not even kidding. This is not a meme. People might recognize it. Someone said something like, who else uses a perpetual ramen bowl? And someone was like, what? And they're like, yeah, like, I love the fact that I've never washed my ramen bowl. So each time I go to make ramen, I can taste the previous flavors of ramen. Here are the following flavors that I think combine really nicely after eating them like one after another over a series of days. And then they like listed out a series of like flavors of ramen that they would eat one after the other over the course of like 2 weeks because they liked the combo of the leftover flavors.
This is someone who's not going to live long in this world, man.
I was going to say, was one of the flavors mold, maybe?
Yeah, seriously,
right?
Dude. Oh, it's so gross.
God, this person is not going to survive.
Yep.
Maybe they just know something we don't know. Maybe they put something in there, like really hot sauce or something that kills anything bad.
Oh,
yeah.
Still kind of gross, though.
No, that person's a serial killer.
Oh, yeah. I see. Okay.
Yeah, that's honestly a likely second explanation. Yep.
That person has bodies in their freezer.
Yeah, they're hiding corpses somewhere.
Kaylee, when you said the spoon has a flat bottom?
A flat bottom spoon, like in miso soup.
Oh, you mean the abomination upon the face of this planet, the blight and scourge of all creation. You mean a fucking broth spoon?
Yeah.
You could use it to get more food into it. That's not broth.
No.
That's
noodles.
true.
No. Fork would be better. Fork for noodles and meat.
It's like literally anything associated with soup.
Yes.
The bowl is blasphemy because it can contain soup.
Just imagine you take that big old bowl of soup and you put it on a plate. Then you just tip the plate. Guess what? You just saved the meal. You're actually you're a food hero at that point because you've rescued all the good food from the bad, nasty broth, and you can put that shitty flat bottom broth spoon in the fucking garbage where it belongs.
Whoa!
I'm not gonna lie to you. Can I tell you why I'm really excited right now?
Yeah, why?
Because I am 100%. Okay, just so we're clear, 100%. I'm going to request that my paid writer write a section about how good soup is.
That's just
your
cruel
biggest
and
challenge
unusual,
today.
man.
Nice.
That's just cruel. Now, could I make the person be saying it under duress?
Or maybe it's a signifier that person is the bad guy?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna make it the arch villain. The supreme.
No.
I'm gonna have them say it while they're doing something evil, like murdering an orphanage or something like that.
An
orphanage?
An orphanage. They're murdering an entire
bad.
orphanage.
Orphanage.
Oh no!
I didn't realize we were
Not
taking
the
sugar
orphanage.
tonight. Let me go grab some gummies. Right?
Okay, all right.
You know,
Listen,
all I got's my meds, so I guess I'll just take double.
double up the meds. What could possibly go wrong?
Hey, do we have like character sheets, by the way? Do we ever do anything with that?
No, we have not. We've so you guys have like your like class sheets kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you have not distributed your stats on them yet.
Okay. Got it.
Right now you're kind of playing non-classes at the moment. If you really like what Sebastian tried to do last time, if you really try and you really want, I can make something happen, but you will accelerate the change, and that will come with some complications. Probably best word to use.
Ooh. That's ooh.
Yeah.
Wee woo, wee woo.
Gotta roll a brand new character because we killed our new one too fast.
Yeah, exactly. You guys step back through the portal. They're like, we lost Rippy. 5 minutes in, we lost Rippy. We need another guy. Anyways, we can go ahead and get started. So I will start by welcoming folks to our tabletop RPG stream called Monsters Ain't Real, where we are using the Dungeon World rule set to enjoy some good old-fashioned RPG fun set in an industrial horror universe. To anyone new, all the old episodes are up on YouTube and Spotify, although that doesn't mean that you can't just hang out and enjoy the session. The first thing that we will start with is a recap. Not a crazy long recap. Last time, the main party found their replacements in other inks and formed the party of expendables that would be entering the red ink. The party consisted of Rippy Mersion, Bishop Kane, Sebastian Volt, and Eye of the Tiger. And the new party ventured into the portal, into the red ink, and came upon a mansion that looked spooky and as if it had vampires in it. And then you learned that it definitely does have vampires in it, or at least one vampire, Yerby the vampire.
I fucking forgot about the vampire. How did I fucking forget about the vampire? I have the worst memory ever.
It's good. That's why we have these recaps.
Oh my god. That's literally all last episode was, and I completely forgot about the fucking vampires.
Oh man. So you guys learned that you are apparently some sort of quote unquote special guests that you've determined are usually made to be specially comfortable, but you don't know to what degree yet and what your purpose is. You learned that Yerby killed his familiar Fernando some time ago and keeps forgetting about it. And then you sat down to dinner with Yerby, where he carved up a live human for you and had another human cook up the meat, except for Tiger, who is going to eat some bugs. And then as you guys sat down, Yerby, we closed on Yerby sitting down and saying, all right, let's talk about the audit. And that's where we ended. So, before we get back into it, let's start with the narrative intro. The camera opens on the exterior of an elevator. The matte black doors seem to absorb light and pull on your eyes as you look at them. The trim where the doors close is made of a burnished gold. And as the doors of the elevator open, you see that the interior is more of that black matte metal. The camera enters the elevator with a dark, fine hardwood floor and a single fluorescent light above you, shining light that seems to be sucked up by the metal walls. The doors slide back closed as you look out into a lobby with a marble floor. As the last glimpse of the exterior vanishes and the doors close, all sound dies immediately. The silent elevator sits there, unmoving, until a new sound arrives. It's a phone ringing, here inside the elevator. It has a metallic bell ringing sound like an old-fashioned rotary phone. And then the ringing stops as you hear a click of the receiver being picked up. The ringing is replaced with some sort of whispering screech. A scream that grows in volume. A hollow scream, like some sort of painful death, but with resignment in the voice, knowing that help is not coming, and that death is the only release from whatever agony is drawing forth this scream. As the scream grows louder and louder until it permeates through you, you notice your stomach feels like it's flipping. And it is not due to the scream. It is because the elevator is descending at an incredible rate. Further down and down as the scream gets louder and louder on the phone. And then the scream stops. The stomach churning stops. And the elevator stops. Slowly, the elevator doors open once again. This time there is no lobby. In fact, at first, it appears as though there is absolutely nothing at all out there. Just black void. But then, as your eyes adjust, you can see that there is a dimly lit gray path, seemingly isolated in an infinite black void to either side. And far down the path, there is a large iron door. You take a step out of the elevator. The doors close behind you. And immediately, you hear something awful. It's like creaking wood and slavering, shattering teeth. And it's directly behind you. The camera cuts to black. And we are back in the dining room with the party and Rippy.
Well, that's got to be just about the most fucked up fucking 5,000 Fingers of Dr. Terwilliger, Dr. Seussian, fucking nightmarish hellscape, the sort of shit I had nightmares about when I was 9 years old. My brain just coming out with all sorts of fucking weird zigzag shaped fucking purple striped trees and walls that are sucking up the light and chattering teeth. Well, that's horrible. Great.
10th floor, creaking wood.
I hope that wasn't important because the narrative intro, because about 30 seconds in, I stopped listening because my lizard brain was screaming to run.
As soon as he was like, oh, there's like a matte black elevator doors, I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. And he's like, on the inside is also matte black. And I was like, oh, that's a little dark. And he was like, it's sucking up all the light. I was like, ooh, that's not comfortable. Don't like that. Okay, all right. Fuck. Yeah. So we're sitting in front of Rippy.
Yeah, so you guys are at this big dining table. It's got like one of those kind of fancy lace tablecloths with all the fine embroidery on it. There are multiple candelabras on the table and a chandelier on the ceiling. There are many place settings, some bowls with fruit on them, which are very clearly wax. And you guys are sitting there with your plates and utensils in front of you. And he says, let's talk about the audit. And then as he says that, the other human walks in, basically with multiple pieces of human cooked to varying degrees on a sets of plates. And then he kind of like puts it down in front of you. And then for you, Tiger, he kind of reaches into his pocket and just starts pulling out handfuls of dirt with worms in it.
Ooh.
Would you be able to describe how are our individual places set? Is it like with 14 pieces of cutlery and like a wine glass and a Chardonnay glass and like a dessert spoon and a napkin? Because like I'm wondering if Rippy would have something to turn into a bib.
Yeah, basically. So I think why don't you go ahead and roll just straight up 2d6.
Sure.
I'll see what you can kind of glean from the table setting in front of you.
See if you can tell the forks apart.
Exactly. Okay, 7 mixed success. It has more settings than like your average fucking Joe Blow's plate and fork and spoon kind of thing.
Okay.
It's got multiple forks, multiple spoons. It does absolutely have a folded napkin, but the napkin is very plainly folded. It's not very fancy. Sure. Yeah, but there is absolutely a napkin there.
Okay, so I think whatever meat in whatever cooked condition is put closest to Rippy.
Yeah,
I think he would immediately pick up the napkin, tie it around himself like a bib.
Yeah,
and look at Yerby and like lift up a glass of whatever's also there to drink. Say,
yep.
Hey, cheers, bruv. And just start going to town, like huge mouthfuls of human meat.
Okay, so now I gotta ask you. you. I think now I have to admit I have never personally eaten human meat before.
Sure,
it's not too bad. Full of gaming.
From what I understand, it tastes an awful lot like pork.
That's what I've heard.
So, taste-wise, I think you're probably in the clear.
Heard this from?
Okay.
From I don't know when, but I think when I was younger, I did research into cannibal tribes, and somehow in there I learned that, and that has stuck in my brain forever. And I don't know why, but now it's something that I fucking know and can't unknow.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons that that human meat is referred to as long pig.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, learned that from my anatomy teacher in college.
That's a real thing.
Wow.
That's distressing.
Yeah,
from an anatomy teacher?
That's a weird venue to learn that.
I thought it was normal because he's the anatomy teacher, but then he was licking his lips as he went through the lecture.
Oh,
that's a
not
problem.
good.
That's a huge red flag. So
Everyone here is smarter than me.
well, now you learned something. Now you know that human flesh tastes like pork. Now you know that. Yeah.
It's fine, Ven. I'm an English major. Don't worry about it.
So what you're bragging about is that you went to college. Okay.
Ven, I spent $100,000 on university, and you and I do the exact same thing for a living.
I feel better.
Oh my God. Okay. So flavor wise, I think you're in the clear, right?
Okay.
And now it comes down to how does Rippy mentally handle this? Is he powering through? Like, is he trying to not think about it and trying to go through with it, or is he kind of okay with it? What's his mental about this? Yeah.
Great question, and I know this may seem like lazy character writing because Slump did a whole lot of people eating, but I think he would genuinely have an attitude of like better him than me.
Yep. No, I think that makes sense.
And unless it was intentionally cooked shittily and intentionally cooked to be gross, he would just think, well, it's free food.
I mean,
like, it's free food, and if I'm meant to fit in, well, then I in for a penny, in for a pound, might as well commit.
Yep, no, that makes sense. Rippy, you literally built Rippy for kind of, to be able to handle what I was gonna throw at you guys. So
bingo.
That makes sense. Okay, so no roll needed. You just start chowing down. I don't remember what cut of meat you said. Do you remember what cut of meat you said you wanted?
I think he said the throat.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I want to say it was the throat.
God, that's disgusting. All right, you're just chowing down on this. And the thing is, it was not prepared properly. This was not cut and trimmed properly, right? It was just ripped out.
Oh, sorry, it was the tum-tum. That's right, it was the soft tum-tum.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
He just said tum-tum.
Yep, that's right, yeah. And he just kind of like cut a huge chunk of stomach out. So it was just kind of cut out with a sword. So it's not prepared in an appetizing way, but it's cooked, cooked meat. And so you just start chewing through this, and I would say it's probably not pleasant, but like it's the guy who cooked it is a desk jockey who works with Excel, right?
Yeah,
and who knows that he is very, very not long for this world and has been experiencing torture. So this was not cooked. to the best of his ability. But
Sure.
it's technically edible, so you just kind of chew on through. Okay. Next.
Can I? Oh yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Well, what's my name? Tiger turns to the person serving the bugs.
Yep.
And says, "Are these from the grounds?"
And the person like looks at you with the most fear in their eyes that you've ever seen a person have. This person was ready for death. And now they realize they may be in for something much, much, much worse.
It's okay, servant. I just want to know about the bug origins.
And they kind of like look at you, then they kind of look at Yerby, and Yerby scowls at them for looking at him. And then they just like look directly back at you and look at the ground, and they're like, came from the ground.
Well, they're nice, thank you.
No problem. And he's just
Host Yerby.
What was that?
Host Yerby.
Yes.
How large are your grounds?
Well, let's see. Fernando usually takes about an hour to clean it all up. So about an hour big, I think.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It doesn't.
I want to get my pen and paper. I want to get that same pen and paper out. I want to write down. It look like I'm jotting down, like I'm shaking my head a little bit, just ever slightly.
Fernando,
an hour.
how big are the grounds? I said about an hour, but I don't think that's right. Fernando. Oh, he's probably working in the yard right now. I'll ask him when he gets back.
Host Yerby.
Yes.
Do your compatriots experience any kind of senility?
Let's see. Are you a human man?
Are you talking to me? I mean, never mind.
Sorry,
Look at joke we have, Brandon. I'm like,
oh, I see. Like they'd say, oh, you're looking like a human.
Pretend you're one of them common folk, you know how it is.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good one.
I think Rippy's gonna start sweating profusely. Just like immense amounts of sweat.
Okay, now you human man, do you remember what you used to do at your job? And the guy's like, I did the work with Excel. I just filled out the numbers. Nope, everybody seems to have pretty good memories here.
That's very interesting, but I do mean more the compatriots, peers, people like you.
You mean the other vampires?
Yes, those.
Oh, I haven't seen another vampire in quite a while. Let me see. Last vampire. No, he was pretty sharp. Had pretty good mind in him. Pretty accurate memory of most things.
What do you think is causing you to not remember Fernando? Is it a sort of grief, maybe?
What are you talking about? Fernando's like my best friend. I would never forget him. Fernando, come in here and say what good friends we are. Tell them about how honored you are to have a vampire for a friend, Fernando.
What is what is this, Fernando? Is he a man?
Well, that's probably going a bit too far. He's a person. He cries
so
way too much to be a
blur the
man.
line. Aye. Makes sense.
But no, he's a human man, kind of like this guy.
Pathetic.
Pretty pathetic. He's kind of useful, though. I give him the benefit of my friendship, and he's eternally grateful. Then sometime, blah, 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 down the road, I said I'd turn him into a vampire, but that's literally not even how it works, but that's okay. He believes it.
Well, mighty kind of you to offer to share your gift.
Of course, see, it's in the offer that I
That's
made,
precisely
right?
it. No need to follow through.
I can't
Only to
even follow
offer.
through. That's not how the change works. I can't turn him into a vampire. But hey, he thinks it's true, so that's all that matters.
Well, now what's all this about an audit?
Well, that's why you're here, right?
Yeah.
So, I was just wondering if there's been a problem. This is a bit quick after the last audit. And
Well,
is there something that I should be fixing?
well, maybe that's part of the problem, isn't it? Maybe part of the problem is that we need to tell you if there's a problem. Shouldn't you be the one telling us what you think could be done differently? Or maybe we should just make our observations and leave.
If there's a right answer,
Yeah?
I choose that one.
Well, then maybe you should tell us if you think there's something that's been out of the ordinary here, isn't it? Anything you think we'd better hear from you before we find it ourselves?
I mean, it's just that Fernando didn't mean any offense last time. He didn't know any better.
Oh, right.
It's just
oh shit! I lean over to. Oh my god, it's gonna be the pain in the ass. I lean over to Rippy. I don't think he knows about the complaints.
Oh, he's not aware of the complaints. Are you aware of the complaints?
complaints, were they about Fernando or were they about the business?
I think in like the big dramatic way, Rippy would like and like shake his head and like heave his shoulders and go back to eating the meat.
Let's do this one. We might be hopeless. No, I do. Do
Perhaps
that.
it was both. Was it your? Was it Fernando and the business?
It was a
dear,
wee bit
dear.
of both. But I'm gonna need to take a look at your books to compare to make sure that what you sent in matches what we have on file.
Oh dear, oh dear. This is going to be time intensive.
I mean, there's a time lapse between when the books get updated and when the numbers are sent in right to the council, and so sometimes the book right now might not look quite like the numbers that were sent in.
Well,
So what you're saying is you haven't had enough time to cook your books.
I mean, well, why one person says cook, I just say to double check that they're right.
well, you know what I always say.
Yeah.
Nothing that a few bands of bandy handshake and a wink won't solve, eh?
That's what you always say.
Nothing about a bridge up there the old stairs. Eh?
Yeah, that's definitely what I hear
about 2 points and a jammy dogs, am I right?
all the time. That's what you say.
Right. So here's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what? You're gonna give us 10% to look the other way.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How about wow, 10%. That's
Well, consider it a one-time purchase of friendship. Don't you want to be friends?
I mean, I do want to be friends. You guys are pretty high up, right?
Yeah, well, exactly. And you're gonna want to be friends with us before you're friends with anyone else.
I mean, that's right.
Important to make a good first impression and all that, isn't it?
That's true. All right.
And here's what we'll do in response. given that there's nothing else unexpected.
I mean, that's pretty good.
I think Rippy looks around the table and realizes that he's been swinging pretty heavy and now busies himself with his human meat and just sort of looks down at the table.
All right. So, do you still want to see the books and see?
Of course, we want to see the books.
Yeah, of course. No, that makes sense. Yeah, of course. All right. Then maybe tomorrow we go to my office and you guys can see the books. Do you want to see everything or just the books?
A little bit of everything, of course.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Okay, that's fine. I'm ready for that, of course, because I knew you were coming and I got prepared. Right, Fernando? Oh, no.
You're just now remembering that you killed him again.
I killed him last week. He's not even here. Okay, things might be in a bit of disarray when we get there, but that's okay. I've already solved the problem. Fernando's gone.
Hey, Rippy.
Yes?
What else do you remember from last week? From, well, like when you last saw Fernando.
Let's see. I saw Fernando and he was trimming the gardens, and there was the other audit, which is why it's so weird that you guys would come a week later. I wouldn't even imagine you had time to look at the numbers I gave you, but here you are. And of course, you've got your ways to look at the numbers very quickly. And I had been feeling that Fernando was not doing his job properly, of course, because the other group looked very upset by the way they were leaving. And so I remember I said, Fernando, you did a bad job, and that's too many strikes, bucko. And now you're gonna have to die, Fernando. And
Rippy, who's half like listening and half trying to fit in as a person participating in this audit, is like very knowingly like nodding, like, yeah, oh yeah, that's right, Fernando. Yeah, you shouldn't have fucked up. Like, yeah, good you tell, Fernando.
yeah. I was like, yeah, Fernando, you did a bad job, and
bad job, Fernando.
That's three strikes. You're
bye-bye.
Slam dunk. And then I killed him.
Wow, dead.
And you guys, not you, but the other group, they left, and then I killed Fernando, and then you're here.
The blood that we saw was older than a week old, right?
Yes, yeah, it was like a month or two.
Your memory, that was longer than a week ago.
I'm pretty sure I've got all my faculties facilitating. And there was the other group, and then I had the meeting with Fernando and I killed him. And then it was Sunday, which is the day that I play baseball, and Fernando didn't even show up. And then it was Tuesday, and I had some employees who were not handling their job very well, so I brought them back. And then it's today.
Can I just like lean in kind of weirdly and just stare at Yerby a little bit and see if I can see sort of like a contusion on his head, or like, I don't know.
Is he secretly 7,000 years old and he's just like old? He's like a really old a vampire who's just like addled by age.
Nosferatu type.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Tiger, roll 2d6 at a +1.
Oh,
okay.
7.
Mixed success, bare minimum mixed success. So you don't see any contusions. Age is so hard to gauge.
Yeah.
He looks like the 32-year-old man. But like it's very obvious he's much older than that. No contusions, no lumps, no bruises, no nothing like that. However, when he's trying to recall the previous events, there is a bit of a glaze on his eyes as he's trying to kind of recall previous events.
Okay. I would like to kind of nod satisfied to myself and look to the party and give a little like, ooh, hands. And wiggle my fingers and then like kind of near my head. Ooh. But, subtly.
Yep.
Can I use one of my moves?
It will incur the change to come more quickly, but if you really want to, you can use a move.
So let me explain the move.
Okay.
And maybe it won't incur anything.
Yeah.
Okay. It's called investigate.
Okay.
It's not I don't think it's a magical thing, but it says when you take time to research or make inquiries about a subject, you roll plus guile, and then on a +2 or on a 10 you choose 2, on choose 1. Those things being you gain useful information about a subject. It doesn't take a long time. You take +1 forward to further investigate on the subject, or it doesn't come with strings attached.
Okay, I'll if you want to. I agree. This doesn't seem like it really uses your powers. However, I will say that your powers are going to be kind of unlocked with your mind, which has not undergone the change yet. So your investigative powers aren't quite at their peak. If you want to roll with no bonus, you can see if you get those, and I'll let you perform those actions, but you won't get a bonus unless you want to risk the change.
Sounds good. I'm okay with taking just a base thing. What I'm trying to deduce is what is the business? Because he's like, do you need to see everything? He's mentioned like, do you need to see the books?
Yeah.
Or do you need to see everything? I want to know what everything is, because I know we're kind of swinging in the dark as to like what that is. And I want to see if I can figure that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, go ahead and roll your 2d6.
There you go.
Holy fucking shit, a 10. A full fucking success off a flat roll. Okay, so you get to have 2 of those.
Yeah, I'll just take I don't really care. I just want to you gain useful information on the subject.
Okay. So I think you guys are kind of sitting there discussing things, trying to wheedle out information, and you gather that Yerby's company makes cars. They're not very good cars, but technically they make cars. And his employees do nothing. He has a skyscraper full of employees who put numbers in spreadsheets. And at the end of the day, he has someone else whose job it is to go and delete all the data banks and remove all the numbers. And the car assembly is powered entirely through robots, machines, and magic. And there's no need for any of the people there. They're just there to waste their time.
So it's a huge waste of fucking money to employ these people.
Sorry, what's powered by magic?
Like the assembly lines, like the things actually building the cars are basically automatons, automated car construction kind of thing. It has absolutely nothing to do with anything all the employees are doing.
Oh my God.
They literally, it's like half the staff puts in numbers to Excel sheets and the other half deletes all the numbers out of the Excel sheets.
It's nice to feel like you're making a difference. That's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so that's kind of the information that you gather about his job.
Okay.
Can I roll nothing associated with ability, just a generic roll? I want to see how much Rippy has been able to do. So like what is the perceived power balance in this interaction right now? Like how much does Yerby feel like, oh shit, I have to make sure that everything's above board here?
Yeah.
Versus how much is he like, are these guys legit? Or like, who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah.
Can I roll to see sort of where that's
Yep. Absolutely. I'll give you a +1 too, because that's kind of Rippy's kind of thing, right? Is feeling out a room and telling a person
how to sell. Yeah.
So I'll give you a +1, 2d6 +1.
Okay. Oh, fuck.
So it's tough to tell. I think you've been able to gather that he definitely seems to be, deferring to you guys, but I think with the miss, you really can't tell. Like, you could be a 1,000 ranks above. You could be god kings to him, or you might literally just be like in the desk beside him, and the boss likes you a little bit more.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. Okay, I think Rippy would go with a bit of a gamble. Well, no, I'm just trying to think, like, when he said, I told what's his associate's name?
Fernando.
I was gonna say Franco. Fernando. Do we get the impression that Fernando may have actually done something wrong during the last audit, or are we just under the impression that this is Yerby being crazy?
I think, man, with a 4,
he doesn't really know.
I think it's hard to tell if Yerby actually did something wrong or not.
Okay,
not Yerby, Fernando. It's hard to tell if Fernando actually did anything wrong.
Okay, I think.
On that note, real quick, hold on. I didn't know if you're retconning or not, because when we investigated the blood was like weeks old or some shit.
It was like 2 months old. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So is that you retconning, or is that he just absolutely has no idea what fucking day it is?
No, that's not retcon. They're definitely, he keeps on saying it's last week, and the blood you saw was months old. Both of those things are true.
Yeah, and when I recently asked him about his memory of it, his eyes got all glazed over, so it seems like he's kind of under a spell effect, and that's why his memory is goofed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Also, I feel like we do know. Well, I guess we can't, but it seems like Fernando did do something to offend the first auditors. But maybe that's just Yerby vision.
Yerby vision. As you guys all kind of are taking part, Yerby is kind of like passively in conversation with Bishop Kane, talking about the cars that they make and the processes that they use, and he points at the guy who cooked the meat, and he says, these guys don't do anything and they're just there to suffer, and then he kind of pulls the guy down and bites his neck and rips his entire throat out, and the guy,
oh my god,
just falls over, like coughs and chokes for like maybe 1 second.
Oh my god,
before so much blood pours out of him that he's just completely dead and motionless.
Well,
I think Rippy would like pause his eating for long enough to like wipe his mouth with a corner of the bib and like clap 3 or 4 times, and then go back to eating.
Thank you. I like to make a little bit of a show with my dinner. It's kind of a thing. Some people say I'm dramatic, but
I had no idea who's coming here for a dinner and a show. I got that guy from. Right, he's a winner. I like him. Now, just out of curiosity, you know what the word accountability means, right?
Of course I know, and I'm very very good at it.
Good. Oh, perfect. Right. Yeah. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to do something a bit more rehabilitative, isn't it? You know what that means? Rehabilitative.
Yes.
It means we try to give you a chance at redemption before.
And he like really dramatically drags his thumb across his neck.
You know?
Yes.
One of the ways we try to do that is by giving you a chance to tell us what it is that went wrong in the previous audit. Obviously, we've got access to the notes. But if you were audited and something were off, well then, it's taken to understand, you'll know what it is. It's why you're the best at what you do, isn't it? Because you got an attention for detail. Now, you mentioned something that this Fernando fellow said. Well, if he did say something that may have led the previous audit astray, we'll have a note of it right here.
And I imagine Rippy had some sort of, imagine we were in this some sort of notepad.
Yeah.
So I think Rippy would be pointing at it going,
Rippy would have an account of it right here. But we're not going to open the book. You're going to tell us your version. And then I'm going to check my handy dandy little notebook. And we're going to check if the two stories line up.
Okay, so, well, Fernando, when it was dinner time, he was not very courteous at all. And I think he put the salad fork on the wrong side. And I think he mixed up the orders, and I think he gave the werewolf the salad, and I think he gave the gargoyle the plate of eyeballs, and I apologized many times, and I publicly scolded Fernando right in front of them. I told him how bad of a job he was doing right there. But they were still pretty upset, and they were so upset that they might not remember it like that because they were so upset about these mistakes that were made. They might have remembered something else. But that's what happened. And then we went and we looked at the books, and they were all pretty good. Maybe not totally up to date, but pretty good. And I don't think that's a problem anywhere. And then they seemed upset by, I can only imagine, the dinner and how not great it went. And then they left, and I thought that they were upset, but also remembering what a good job I did scolding Fernando like that.
Right.
And then I killed him, and the problem is solved now.
Okay. Right. Now, just one other question for you here.
Yes.
If you were in the position,
and Rippy just points up because he doesn't even know how to refer to the power structure here.
Yeah.
If you were in the position, what do you think you would do with someone like you?
What would they do with someone like me?
That's what I asked. What would they do? What do you think if something didn't line up in the old audit there? What do you think we should do?
I think that that if I was you if it was me meeting me for the audit on me, knowing what happened last time, I would think that I would be coming here to tell me how happy I am with myself for stepping up and taking care of the Fernando situation by scolding him so badly that he didn't make any more mistakes.
Okay, I got a note of that here. I'm sure the all will feel the same way, eh?
Of course, that only makes sense.
Only makes sense.
Only makes sense. I took care of the problem. I scolded him. I was like, Fernando made a huge mistake. Shouldn't do that.
Whoopsie.
Right? And then no harm, no foul.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Perfect. And he's kind of sweating a little bit, and you can kind of see he very heavily powders his face, and you can kind of see it's starting to run streaks in his powdering.
Starting to turn into cake batter
he's kind of cake battering his face a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did his eyes glaze over at all when he was telling that story?
No.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. Actually, Tiger, roll 2d6 plus 1. Wow. He was he was almost completely lying about that whole thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I think we had a sense.
Yep. It was all bullshit almost from the first word to the last.
I say that is a very interesting story. One follow-up question. Do you think we're stupid?
No. Whoa. Well, did Fernando say that? Whoa, Fernando, you gotta watch your language. With respect to these people. Whoa, no, I would never. I would, if I see Fernando, I'll give him a very bad scolding. If he said anything like that, never would I think you're stupid.
So, real quick, the surrounding room that we're in, are there windows and are they like crudely boarded up?
There are windows, and you can't tell if they're board. Well, you didn't see any boards from the outside, but there are very heavy curtains and drapes and blinds drawn in front of all of them.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm trying to establish if the rules of vampires are the same in this universe, essentially.
Oh yeah, it seems like these are blocking as much light as humanly possible.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't think you're stupid at all. I think you're probably very smart because you're obviously very smart.
Then why lie to us? Yerby. Host Yerby.
Yes.
You know what this is. We all like lying, right, everybody? We like to lie, right?
No.
Well, there it is.
See, that was a lie.
You see?
Okay,
We
yes.
understand.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, it's possible that perhaps, and I would probably need more evidence before I believe this was true. Perhaps Fernando was stealing a bit from me, but I think it was an honest mistake. And I have worked twice as hard to make up the difference, so books all balanced now.
Did that seem truthful?
Yeah, that seemed much more truthful.
I'll nod, satisfied.
And he's dead now, so he can't steal anymore. And you actually, like, you see a bit of a tear start to well up in his eye when he says that.
Huh.
Is there any way to tell, did he do it? Or did the auditors?
I mean, you had a 12 on that kind of insight check.
Oh, that's
true. He did it. He was the one.
Oh my gosh, that's so sad though. Okay, thank you.
He's
hardcore, man.
All gone. No more stealing.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
He's idly still just eating his dinner.
Bye-bye.
All problem solved.
See ya.
It's hard to find people who value the work.
That's what I always say.
So when are you going to get a new one?
Boy, replacement for Fernando. I don't know. Probably pretty soon.
Oh my gosh.
Probably just need to find the right one, and who cares about Fernando? It's easy to find another one of them.
Maybe it's not a spell and it's just terrible trauma that's making him forget.
I wonder, actually.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you had a 12. I'll say that seems to kind of ring true.
Yeah, okay. Oh man, poor little dude.
What seems to ring true?
That the reason that his memory is so bad is like trauma.
Oh,
He's
God.
actively repressing it, kind of thing.
Oh, God.
Yeah, like his brain refuses to accept that Fernando's dead.
Okay, holy shit.
Poor Yerby. Well, poor Fernando, I guess.
Really. Well, it's almost time for sleeping. Sweet dreams and having a nap.
All right, we can do that, I suppose.
And then in the morning, we can all go to the office and can check the books, see that nobody's stealing anymore.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Fernando will show you to your rooms, and I'll have him wake you in the morning. So for our trip to the office.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Fernando, they're ready for bed.
Oh, jeez.
Feeling a little bad for him, I just say, why don't you go on to rest? We'll wait here for Fernando.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of stands up, and he's kind of dabbing his eyes a little bit with the tablecloth. And when he stands up, he's still holding the tablecloth, and everything gets yanked a little bit, and all the candelabras fall over, all the glasses fall over, everything kind of tips and spills all over, and he just kind of stands there and stares at it. And then his eyes well up with tears, and he just turns and walks out of the room.
Oh, jeez. Why can't anything go right?